Hi coaches, this is Deb and I have another message for you. Actually, Comet and I, it's Car Talk with Comet and Coach Deb today. But I wanted to talk to you some more about forming because I was talking with a coach last night and I think that some of you kind of missed the mark about when to form and when to invite and what all you need to do. And, you know, I think of forming really in the aspect of in real life, it's a way for you to get to know people. So for me, for instance, I'm happy to go to a football game or practice and kind of sit off by myself with my phone and watch the game and work on my phone and not really interact. But forming has really taught me that I need to put myself out there more. And so I will go over and sit with the parents, and forming gives me a way to kind of think through, how do I talk? How do I talk to these people? Not with the intention of talking about Beachbody, but just, I know the family piece. I know we've got something in common, so I can always start there, and then some of them I know about their occupation, so I can ask them about their jobs and things like that. So it's just a way to kind of, and you can do that at a PTA meeting, you can do that at dance practice. It's just a nice way to help you kind of go through the process of getting to know people better, putting yourself out there, because that just may not come naturally to everybody. I know it doesn't really come naturally to me. When we talk about forming our new friends on Facebook, for instance, I will tell you what I do. When I make a new friend on Facebook, I will go to their Facebook wall and I will post a message to say hi and reference how we met, or how do we know each other, or I'll comment about something on their page just as a way to say hi, glad we're friends now. And if the occasion warrants, I will send them a private message as well. So maybe I met them because they did like one of my posts. Or something like that. I'll send them a message and say, I saw you liked my post. Thanks for accepting my friend request. Did you have some questions? So that's my first introduction to them. I get the impression that a lot of you are thinking that from that first connection that you need to immediately go into forming, which would then mean going into personal messaging them and asking them about their friends and their occupation and their recreation. And that can be a little creepy, don't you think? I mean, here's a perfect stranger now private messaging you and kind of asking you to open up about their family and what they do for a living. And that doesn't really feel very natural, I don't think. And it doesn't really, I don't know. It just, as I was talking to this coach last night, we both agreed that's kind of creepy. How would you feel if somebody did that to you? I mean, just out of the blue. So I feel like that's maybe where you're getting stuck and you're thinking, oh, this is so weird and this is so awkward and so uncomfortable. But yet you tell me that I have to form these people before I invite them. That's really not what I've said at all. I mean, and that's not what I do. What I do is, like I said, I make that connection, I acknowledge that we're friends, and then I leave it. I don't force anything from there. So I go about my invite process in a very separate manner. So I'm meeting my friends every day. I'm not immediately inviting them to anything. I'm not immediately trying to get them to talk about fitness. I say, hi, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And I let it go. And I may, the way I invite is very methodical. I invite in an alphabetical order on my contacts list. I just go from A to Z. So if this person is a B, and I've already done my B's for this cycle, I'm not going to invite them for quite some time probably. But maybe I'm working on the A's right now, and maybe in the next couple of days I get to the B's. Well, I'm going to invite them. So you say, but you haven't formed them. I haven't formed them in the sense of what we've talking about with friends, occupation, relation, and message, because I haven't had a need. I haven't had an occasion to. Again, our relationship hasn't progressed there yet. I send the invite in a very open manner. Hi, I'm just stopping by to chat with my friends and find out if you might be interested in joining me in a Get Fit challenge. Why do I need to form them before I do that? Because if they're interested in getting fit, they're going to respond back. And then I'm going to form them. If they're not interested, they're not going to respond. If I have already formed them, it could be my best friend. if she's not interested in getting fit, I'm still going to have the same response. No, I'm not interested right now. So what I'm saying is, somebody who's interested in getting fit, if it's the right time for them, when you send a very open, non-confrontational, non-threatening message like, hey, I'm just stopping by to find out if you might be interested in joining me in my fitness challenge. If they're interested, they're going to say yes, and then you're going to naturally progress into the forming process. Okay? And I just wanted to clarify that, because this is what I do, and some coaches may disagree with me on that, but I'm just saying that it works. It works for me. It may not, it's not the only way to do it, but I can tell you, as a Success Club 10 All-Star, and, my all-time points high is, my all-time high of Success Club points was 62 points. I mean, it works. It works for me, and I believe it will work for you. I think that I would suggest you try it, because I think you may be overthinking this, and I think you may be overcomplicating it, and I think you may be drawing the process out way too much. There's always instances, if it's somebody that you already know, or maybe it's a high school friend that you haven't talked to in a long time. Well, yeah, maybe you do. Maybe it is more natural for you to want to kind of catch up with them first. But I would suggest that after you friend them, or they friend you, you immediately, if there's somebody that you know, you go into that private message and you go into forming, hey, I'm so glad we became friends on Facebook. Gosh, it's been so long. Tell me what's going on with your life. Just, and leave it at that. You don't then have to try to force it into a conversation about Beachbody. Catch up with each other and just move on. Now you're friends. Now you can like their posts. You can comment on their pictures. Let it happen naturally. Let that relationship happen a little bit more naturally, I think, maybe, instead of trying to force the whole forming thing. You definitely want to form, but there's different levels of forming, and there's different points in the process where you need to form kind of in a little different way. So, I hope this is helpful, and please ask questions, because this is a very, very important part, and I think it may be part of the reason why people are so afraid and shy away so much from inviting. So please hit me up with questions, and good luck.